For chapter 2, we're going to look at a couple of properties for bar graphs. For our numerical displays, we discussed the shape, the center, and the spread or the variability. First thing is that bar graphs do not have shape. We're not going to describe a bar graph as skewed left or skewed right or symmetric because one of the properties of bar graphs is that they can be placed in any order. You could place the bars so the graph looks like it's skewed to the right, or you could place the bars of same data so it looks like it's skewed left or even symmetric. So we're not going to describe the shape of a bar graph. We are going to describe the center, and we're going to describe it as the mode. The mode determines the center of the sampling distribution of categorical data. The mode is something that you're probably familiar with from previous math classes. The mode is just what category occurs the most. If two categories are tied for the most frequent occurrence, we say the distribution is bimodal. So whatever category occurs the most, whatever category has the highest bar, that is our center, that is our mode. For example, I have two bar graphs here. I know they're bar graphs because across the bottom I have categories, not numbers. As well, the bars do not touch. In 2002, in this first bar graph, people were asked, would they find it difficult to give up a cell phone, internet service, television, landline, email, wireless email device? And we look at the percentage saying yes to each device. So about 38% or so, just under 40% said they would find it difficult to give up their cell phone. Same for internet. Television, about 50%. And then in 2002, landline was the most popular response. Over 60% said it would be very difficult to give up my landline telephone. So here we can say the mode would be the landline. You can see email, close to cell phone and internet, and then wireless email device, it's pretty low. 5 years later in 2007, the same question was posed, and now we can see that landline is no longer the highest bar. Landline has gone from about 60% saying it's difficult to give up to about 40% of respondents saying it's difficult to give up their landline phone. The most popular response here, the highest bar, the mode, is the cell phone. And if we were to conduct this sample, this survey today, I would expect cell phone to be even higher and landline telephone to be even lower. Before we move to the next property, variability or spread, quick reminder that this bar graph in green is a special kind of bar graph. It's a Pareto chart because the bars are organized from the tallest all the way down to the shortest. And that makes it a Pareto. We've got the center of these bar graphs taken care of. Now for the variability, aka the spread. Just like numeric displays had either a higher spread or a lower spread, bar graphs have the same classifications. If there are many observations in several different categories, there is high variability or high spread. The data is very spread out. However, if most observations fall into the same category, there is low variability. Two bar graphs here, one showing lower variability or lower spread, the other displaying higher variability or higher spread. The one on the left, we would say, has a lower spread or a lower variability because we've got this really tall bar here. It looks like most of the observations, most of the data is in this particular category. And when most of the observations are more than half falls into one category, we say it has a lower spread. This looks to be maybe about 30%. Compared to here, this is 3%. Hispanic appears to be about 11%. Asian is 4%, and the other maybe 2%. If we add these together, it's about 20% in these four categories, where 30% is in this category, so it's lower. The one on the right, we would say, would have a higher variability or a higher spread. The data is more spread out. It's evenly distributed. There's not one category that's showing up way more frequently than the others. They're all about 13%. In these first four, and this final one, the other, it's about 9%. But there's not one category that is more popular than the others. So it would have a higher spread. The data is more evenly spread out from all the categories. One last thing to wrap up this video, just some reminders about ways we can describe our data. If it's numerical data, we can describe its center, where the highest peak is, the highest bar, highest set of dots. Its shape as being skewed left, skewed right, or symmetric. And its spread, either higher or lower spread or variability. With categorical data, we use the mode as our center. Again, the highest bar. And we've got the variability, which is the spread. We do not describe the shape of these bar graphs because they can be placed in any order.